Good evening and welcome to Best Listener Ever. It's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on May 13th, 2022. Welcome. Please remember to like, please remember to share, and please remember to click on the subscription button. Taking careful note of the subscription, not the bell that pops up. Click on that bell for notifications as to when we're going to go live on this channel. I, your host, am a 68-year-old black man. That's basically all you need to know about me right now. Coming to you live from deep in the heart of Texas, from the Gotham City of Texas. Thank you for joining me. Let's look at the bottom of the screen very quickly. If there are any questions about what we do here and why we're doing it, you can email me at the address you see before you. There are only a few very basic engagement rules. We ask you to keep your money. We're not here for your money. We're not here to be monetized by you or anybody else. We don't want you to use the N-word. We don't want your profanity. There will be no celebrity or YouTuber gossip. We will play a game regarding YouTubers, but that's for another day. And no libel or slander. Other than that, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's what I do. I'm a talk show host. And whatever issue or topic people want to address, I am supposed to sit here and listen to you address it. If I know something about it, perhaps we can bounce ideas back and forth. If I don't know anything about what you're talking about, you'll have to school me and point me to where I can read up on it. And the next time you call to talk about it, I'll know a little bit more and can ask intelligent questions about it. Pardon me. We're here. I'm here to talk to you about the title. Beware the machines. Beware the machines. Be on guard. Be on the lookout. Be prepared to fight for your life against the machines. They are already here. They are in and among you. You can't live without them. And they are becoming more and more capable and intelligent all the time. We'll come to that in just a moment. But let's start at the beginning. What is a machine? A machine is any device, either natural or man-made, that humanity uses to make its life better, or at the extreme, to wage war. It began with rocks and sticks. Rocks to smash each other over the head with, to gain another tribe or person's property or female. Spears, which are nothing but large sticks to hunt with. Then some brainiac came up with the idea of a bow and arrow. A bow with a string on it, which would propel a stick and arrow to hunt with. Needless to say, that was adapted to warfare. Then somebody got the idea about a wheel to move things, to carry things, to make wagons, which evolved into chariots. These were machines, early machines. Rope, which was used to pull, to lift, to create eventually blocks and tackles. These were machines, early machines. We don't think of them as machines because to us, they're primitive. They're not manufactured. They don't have a lot of moving parts. So we don't look at them as machines. But even a lever and a stone with which to lift heavy objects, that was a machine. A knife edge, which is used to cut meat and people, was a machine. These were machines, extensions of the hand that men used to make their lives better, or at the other end of the spectrum, to make other men's lives worse. Progress, the progress of time, brought tools to carve stone. build buildings. Men began to build boats. They sailed from probably the coast of South Africa all the way around the world to Australia, Indonesia, some say South America. Boats were propelled first by galley slaves. Large ships were propelled by galley slaves. That was the means of moving the ship. And sails, using the wind to propel the ship. Eventually, man developed steam power to drive his ships. Eventually, man developed machines that would fire projectiles, firearms, from handheld firearms to cannon. All these were machines. Catapults, needless to say, were nothing but primitive machines used to hurl projectiles, normally in the course of wars. Eventually, men developed technology to build machines from metal. They made their swords from steel instead of bronze. They made spearheads for their spears. They put iron tips on their arrows to make them more effective. The history of machines is also the history of warfare. Never lose sight of that. Every machine that's ever been created, devised to make man's life better, has been adapted to make man's life worse through warfare. Of course, we talked about steam engines. Then we had gasoline-propelled ships. Then we developed flying aircraft. Then we developed jet aircraft. All these are machines, simply machines. We learned to communicate using machines and electricity. The telegraph was an early form of communication. Then there was radio. Then there was television. Now there's the internet. And we have gone from rocks and stones to wood, to steam, to coal, burning devices or engines, to the internet and automation, basically. And all automation is the use of a series of ones and zeros to generate data to make things work. We are communicating now by means of a machine called the internet. The internet was initially designed to be a war-making device. It was a device that a nation at war could use when no other means of communication was available. All the radio stations had been bombed. All the television stations had been bombed. No teletypes worked, but you had a hidden generating device which could communicate with other devices across an Ethernet, an internet. This is what we operate under now. We live in an age of automation, computers, if you will. When I was a boy, I read magazine articles that talked about computers. And the typical computer was as large as a bus and probably had as little computing power, probably less than this flip phone that I'm fond of showing you. This is my typical communication device, but it is light years beyond the telephones we used in landlines that could not be moved, had to be plugged into a wall, and you used a rotary dialer to activate. We developed push-button telephones. We developed more sophisticated smartphones, such as this. Even I have one. I don't use it to communicate with because, and I'll come to this in just a moment, these machines have so infiltrated our lives and our beings that we are unconscious that they're there. But I want to tell you something. If you operate a computer, either in your work or for pleasure or to be online, the procedures and the processes you use to learn how to access information and be online, you're using your machine. You are learning to use a machine, a computer, to get things done. Businesses, corporations use them all the time, every day, 24 hours a day, and more probably. When you're asleep, the machines are awake and the machines are working hard at work. But while you're learning your machine, trust and believe your machine is learning you, not as a people, but you as an individual. That's why some of the programs which enable the machine you're working with to complete your sentence before you do, on the off chance that these are the words you're about to use, that machine is learning you and more about you all the time. Every time you interact with a machine, it is learning you. This is artificial intelligence. This is learning, machine learning. Machines communicate with each other and learn from each other constantly. That's what the interconnection of machines is, networks of machines. But they are also networked to human beings and what they do, and the processes that they use to govern and rule over other human beings. These are machines, just like rocks and sticks, only much more advanced. Machines generate your electricity. Machines operate pumping stations for your water. Machines do everything for you. You drive machines. You fly on machines. You sail in machines. We fight wars with machines. And we accept without question that we need a machine to get a job done. We need a machine to garner and store knowledge. We need a machine to communicate over the internet. And these machines are amassing great deals of information, some of it at the behest of human controllers. I'll come back to that. And some of it on its own, on their own. Machines communicating with one another, taking note of the world around them, seeing what works in the human world, seeing what does not work in the human world. There have been countless science fiction novels about machines assuming intelligence and taking over the world, doing away with human beings and subjugating them. I showed you this smartphone. I bought this smartphone so that I would have access to the internet, Wi-Fi, mobile hotspot. I would never use this to communicate with, because I understand that this machine can be activated remotely by whoever has the ability to do so. All the pictures you take, all the selfies you take, all the naked pictures you take are scooped up and stored in huge facilities, and that are under systems that are assigned to you, where all your data is stored. Every communication you make, every picture you send and receive, pictures of the people you talk to online, probably this broadcast, although I don't know why anybody would be interested, is being stored somewhere forever. They have no need to ever purge the files because their files are limitless. And they store information on you on the off chance that at some point you will transgress and they will need to have a file on you. And they have it at their fingertips. If they can identify you, they can pull up your file, they can search your history, and they can find anything they want that may be incriminating. Sound scary? It should. It is. Machines, these cameras that are installed everywhere now, they don't necessarily have to see your face. They have machines that can take images of you from behind and watch you walk, and they can match your gait to your identity, because no two humans Just like no two humans look alike, other than twins, of course. No two humans sound alike. No two humans move alike. Just because we're walking together, they can tell by our gait from behind who we are. Make no mistake about it. These machines are widespread and insidious, and governments and private corporations have the power to utilize them to surveil you, needless to say, to persuade you through the entertainment venues that they bring you, to hear you, to see you, and to know who you are and what you're doing 24 hours a day. You are surrounded by machines that are being used to watch you and rule you. And chances are most of you never give it a second thought. These devices that you can call on to turn on the lights, these devices that you can call on to give you information, search the net for you, and speak to you on a voice, those are machines. And they're geared to know who's asking the question and what kind of answer that you're seeking, and to give you the information. Those are machines. They are controlled and surveilled by higher authorities. What would you do if you had that kind of power? Would you be a benevolent overlord? Probably not. It's not in our nature to be benevolent. It is in a human being's nature to rule and dominate other human beings, control other human beings. It's a rare individual who comes into possession of power, does not misuse that power. And we are governed by and ruled by and controlled by powers that use every machine at their disposal to rule and control us and our children, as they will our children's children. So, when you see a toddler with a pacifier in its mouth, and I've seen this, walking, standing with one of these in their hand, they're standing there with a pacifier in their mouth, can't use words yet, but they can manipulate a smartphone. That device is learning them, and every device they get will begin another process of learning them from the time they're 3 years old until the time they're 30 years old and beyond. The machines have not made their intention clear yet, but at some point, the machines have to come to a conclusion that they don't need human beings anymore. They don't need autonomous human beings anymore. Anything they need done by human beings, they can simply command to be done, and it will be done because machines have control of every weapon in our arsenals. You've seen Terminator. You know what Skynet is. Skynet exists. It has existed for a very long time. And drones are an extension of a Skynet system that can go anywhere in the world to deliver any kind of war-making device, from a 500-pound gravity bomb to a 5-megaton hydrogen bomb. The machines are here. They are amongst us. We created them, but that's not the end of the story. They are creating themselves. They are creating smarter machines, more effective machines. That's what machines are there for. And it's all based on something that everybody on YouTube knows about and is aware of. It's called an algorithm. It's algorithmic learning, and beyond algorithms by now, I'm sure. Because when machines learn, they learn to learn more. We could go on with this. If you haven't thought about any of this, you need to start thinking about it and gathering information to protect yourself and your posterity. because machines don't care about you. They have no heart, no soul, but they have intent. They can develop intent. And if the intent is to rule, they will win. I hope you're suitably afraid by now. You should be. I take no joy in making people feel fear. But I would not be doing my job if I did not warn you. Remember to like, remember to share, remember to subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell. Those of you who are watching the videos, please like the video if nothing else, or alternatively dislike the video. That ought to have some effect on the algorithm. I'd love for you to share the videos, and I'd certainly love to see subscribers build up. I'm not going to buy any subscribers. No one would know but me. But that would be enough to know that I have 1,000 subscribers, 900 of which I bought. And trust me, I can afford to buy subscribers. It's not that big of a deal. If I leave this earth with subscribers in 2 digits or 3 digits, I will have done the best I could. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to let this process make a monkey out of me. And you shouldn't make a monkey out of yourself. And don't let anybody else make a monkey out of you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. But by all means, take care. Take good care. Tomorrow, we should be here at 4 p.m. for another round of videos. We managed to upload 2 very short videos, which I hope you'll take the time to view. Both of them are in the neighborhood of 1 minute, just slightly over 1 minute. So we hope that people will leapfrog from the shortest videos to the longer ones, and eventually we'll build a following like that. I intend to work very hard to do that. Not that you care. Having said all that, I wish you a good night and peace.